Yes. Okay.
recording. And here we go live on
Okay.
Facebook. Hopefully this works. Facebook
Okay.
has not been working well, so I'm really hoping this is going to work.
Yes. Exactly. So I guess we are live. I guess.
I'm going on right now. Do you see us live? Oh, no, share on timeline, share in group.
Just tell me if we are online or not.
I'm getting there right now.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're connecting in. It's preparing right now.
Okay. Okay. So we are live here. Yes, it's preparing, but it is showing live. Okay.
Okay, so maybe that we are in, I guess.
Yes.
I just like people are probably gonna be looking at us like those guys don't know what they're doing. So no, it looks like it's just kind of sitting and preparing. There we go. Please let it work out. We're going on to preview,
Yes.
and
Uh,
title is Weekly Transit with KK. Okay, go live.
okay.
There's
So we are
always a
in.
lag.
Yes. Yes, we are live on Facebook. Yes, yes, we are live. Okay, so
Good morning, everybody,
thank
or
you, Sammy.
afternoon, or
To
evening. Okay. So, good
okay,
morning, good evening, and good afternoon. I hope you guys are ready for our weekly transits. So, go ahead, Kate, and we'll let you start out and I'll jump in.
okay. So yes, thank you, Sammy, to invite me again to your channel, my breakthrough astrology, and I, KK Singh, am again here with you, and I am representing my team Om Astro Jyoti here. So today, as she already told all the lovely people here that we are going to do a video on transit or the weekly transit rather. So today the first thing what we can start is from the moon is in Virgo, okay, and it is in the star of Chitra. Now Virgo sign happens to be the sixth zodiac of the natural zodiac, okay. Because on mundane level we are speaking about this, so we will always consider the natural zodiac from the Aries, beginning from the Aries and ending till Pisces. We are not speaking of any other country's horoscope. Like say for India is having different zodiac, America is Sagittarius rising having a different zodiac. Okay, so particularly yes, that will also trigger events, but overall in the mundane level, like what is their actual position in the sky right now. So as per that, moon is in the sixth house of Virgo if we are considering the natural zodiac. Now also not only it is in the sixth house of the zodiac, it is making a 6-8 relationship with Mars, and also it is making a 2-12 relationship between Mercury and itself. So now whenever we have to judge a planet, we have to see two compartments, be it in transit or be it in your natal horoscope. When we are looking at the transit, now we are thinking of moon in Virgo, and moon in Virgo, the house is ruled by Mercury, right? And also it is in the star of Chitra, which is ruled by Mars. So here the more importance, like the both of these planets becomes very important. Mars is also very important here to look, and also the Mercury, because they are sharing the dispositorship of moon on the primary level Mercury is the dispositor of moon, and on the secondary level, Mars is also the dispositor of moon. Because you see, the house is like an apartment, like the building you are in. But the nakshatra becomes that area where you are actually living in, or that becomes the room. Like you have a dining room, you have a kitchen, you have a bedroom. So every room is like the nakshatra. So that point is also to be seen. Now, even if moon does not consider anyone its enemy, but Mercury always consider moon to be its enemy, right? Because there is a story behind that.
Mhm.
So Mercury will not give the resource to moon to fulfill and to function well. And also it is the natural sixth house zodiac, and any planet especially which are naturally benefic, like moon is naturally benefic planet. In that situation, excuse me, Mercury is not allowing it to use the resource. Now, house or the Rashi is the resource. But here, one thing is for sure: even the moon is not able to take up the resource and do something wonderful. The room in which he is sitting right now is Chitra. Now, Chitra is a Dvipad nakshatra. Okay, so Dvipad nakshatra in this sense is like two charan, like all the nakshatras of Mars, be it Mrikshira, Dhanishta, or Chitra, they all are having the Dvipad nature. Now, what is Dvipad? Let me explain what is the meaning of Dvipad. Dvipad nakshatra means the two legs, the two charan or the padhas will be in one Rashi, and the another two, the back, the behind two padhas will be on the another Rashi. So, in this case, Chitra, two pad, the first two padhas will be in the house of Parvo, and in the next two padas will land in the house of Libra. Now, when we are looking at the whole transit, because you see, the moon is going to change the house as soon as in the night only. Okay, but
Hold on, but we
it
wanted
will still.
for some of the audience, so we need to bring this down just a little bit because a lot of my audience doesn't know so much of these technical terms, and what they're looking for is what am I going to feel today? So they really want to bring it
Okay,
down to
okay,
what am I feeling? And so, you know, with the moon in Chitra, it's not necessarily that you can't manifest anything. It's going to be a little bit more work because you got to calm your mind down. Because you're right, Moon and Mercury
exactly,
doesn't work very well together. So you'll see a lot of moons in the sign of Virgo or Mercury ruled house that their mind's a little bit agitated and they can't stop thinking and they can get into excessive worry. And so, however, the one of the good things about this right now is that Mars is giving support because Mars is in its own
right,
house. So it is giving um, the moon support from here. But with that being said, this is a very creative and very brilliant nakshatra. And it could be triggering a lot of people's planets from here. So you may feel a little bit more passionate, a little bit more aggressive about your goals, what you want to accomplish, what you want to create. This nakshatra is brilliant. This is where diamonds come from. Mars, it takes, sometimes you have to work at something really hard or you have to fire it up, you have to cut it and make something beautiful. Nakshatra also. But we also want to be careful because
right,
as Mars is fueling it, on the negative side, one can be very arrogant or egocentric or do something very unethical. So we also want to look at the dark. We
right.
all have the dark side in us. We're all made up of both light and darkness. So we want to be careful of those triggers. But I just kind of want to add that in with Chitra. It is a beautiful nakshatra.
Exactly. So, whatever you said is absolutely correct and perfect. You see, this unethical behavior or like that firing of the fuel, that will happen more when Mars will be in Chitra of Libra. Okay, as soon as Moon will be into the Libra part of the Chitra, then it will be directly opposite to the Mars. And at that moment of time, it is a very good yoga also. I'm not denying that. This is the Chandra Mangal yoga. In the Vedic astrology, it is said as the Kuja Mangal also, we say, because Kuja is Mangal and Chandra Kuja Yoga. Okay. So this is a very auspicious yogas. And in this yoga also, we can have access to real estate or property. Now this, because we know that Mars is also the Karka for the land and Moon is by default the fourth house lord. So when this combination happens, definitely people will try to be more connected to their house or home property, or they will definitely try to be at more of the comfort zone. Okay, that yes, they will be like Mars is 100% energy, but what they will be trying to do is like to take a day off and to do a rest, because yes, you see, because as the Moon is the fourth house lord also in the Naisargic Kalpurusha Kundali, in that situation also we have to consider the fourth element here too. And
Right.
also it will be in the Venus's sign. So Venus is that comfort, beauty, luxury and everything that a person can imagine. So yes,
Yeah.
but definitely the people are going to see the change in dynamic when Moon is going to be in the Libra. Now here I would like to
But
also.
also, I do want to add though here really quick, KK, that Mars being in Ashwini's nakshatra is also really significant. There is Mars, the Kumar, the Ashwini nakshatra. So we can face times of betrayal and deceit, but also about what to do to and our desires. But then also at the same time, though, this is a very healing nakshatra. People, especially with being in there, these are surgeons. These are our healers. That
Right.
they can come up with absolutely magical medicines and surgeries and ways of healing that we've never had before. And I think that's significant, especially with Rahu being in Mrigashira, that Mars is in a good spot to come up with something that's actually a healer that we've never seen before. Because these guys are our trailblazers. They're willing to go outside the norm, do what
Exactly.
it takes, but they get that K2, they get that magical crown chakra, if you will, download from the universe. So again, we got the good side and the bad side, but just watch your own energies, watch how it's playing out with your personal chart. What are you feeling? So really, this is one of the reasons why we're doing these lives, is so you can tap into these energies and understand self-awareness of how you're playing out in your life.
Exactly. I would also like to add some point here, Sammy, as you have started the point of Ashwini Nakshatra. It's Ashwini Kumars are the two twins who are actually the doctors. Okay, so this nakshatra represent doctor. Now you also have to take the aspect of the Mars, which is falling in the Scorpio, the eighth aspect. Okay. Now, when Mars is looking at a Scorpio, also this is also digging up the very mysterious and very undergrounded activity, which may include intense research. Okay, and also like you said, the surgeon and surgery. Surgery is not done or never done in an open road or somewhere like that. The surgery house is totally isolated and underground type of thing. Okay, so definitely yes, you are bang on with this prediction, and yes, you are absolutely correct. But one thing I would also like to tell you here, because as Ketu is in own nakshatra of Mula. Mula is the destruction, right?
Yes.
Now, and Ketu is that object which pierce, okay, which pierce inside. Like, how can I give the example? Like, if Mars is that blade which cuts,
Right.
and Ketu is like that needle which pierces you. Okay,
Right.
so in this situation, we might say that many of the people, if they are having some issues regarding some difficulties, that yes, if they are going for a laser surgery, if they are ill, then that surgery is going to be successful and healing quickly. so that
Right,
we can say.
right. I mean, just putting these nakshatras together in this alignment, I think is absolutely beautiful. You know, sometimes we need to destroy something to make it better. And what do we want to do with like cancer? What do we want to do with our flus, our sicknesses, our illnesses? We want to eradicate them. We want to destroy them. This is where Kali comes in. This is where that Ketu Mula Nakshatra all comes in. You want to eradicate and destroy some things, right? So
Exactly.
they really go hand in hand. And Rahu, again, is in that Mrigashira. So also what I think is really important is that Venus right now is moving or has moved into Punavasu, is returned to the light. It's like Venus is like, okay, we're done. We're done with the sicknesses. We're done with, with all of this. We want to start living. We want to now start traveling. We're done being stuck. She wants to move. She wants to travel. She wants to go, right? So you guys are going to feel some really hard struggles right now where you're going to get frustrated because Venus is opposing Jupiter. Jupiter is still in retrograde.
Right.
Because Jupiter right now is doing something so significant and so important in our world right now that must be done before Venus is let loose to go travel. So
Right.
And Jupiter again is in that Purva Ashada nakshatra, right?
Right.
And that's all about getting to the root of the truth of it. And it's retrograde. That means we're
100%.
re-looking at things.
Exactly.
And Jupiter is all about justice, truth, law of attraction is realized here. So Jupiter really is wanting us to relook at our Justice Department, relook at what is going on, relooking even at the way that we're doing our medicines. So Jupiter, I think, is doing something really important as far as medicine goes. We need to move forward in the right way, in an ethical way. But I mean, you see all the unethical stuff that's going on and coming up in the news. That's Jupiter bringing that all out.
100%. Now, I would also tell you one thing here, because as the Jupiter is retrograded now, and it is in the nakshatra of Purva Ashada ruled by Venus. Purva Ashada nakshatra is the first victory or the invincible star. The star here is not, it is undefeated one, right? Now, in what sense it is undefeated? Now, undefeated in the sense is like, yes, the justice will be undefeated, the law will be undefeated. Even if Jupiter needs to sacrifice the love and the romance, which Venus is trying to give now, because Venus has came out of the Ardra, which is also a very dangerous star to be in, because it is the teardrops.
Yeah.
Teardrops means before the last week, the Venus was in Ardra, and many person would have tears falling down because of the relationship issues. Now Venus is trying to sustain that, but on the other hand, Jupiter is saying no. Everything is law. First law, then you do your internal work. That from there, the Jupiter is giving you a little bit of blockage, unless now you also see that there is a very good exchange yoga happening between Venus and Jupiter. Venus and Jupiter. Now I would just tell you that yes, Jupiter is more powerful at this point of time, because Jupiter is its own house, or rather Mool Trikona in the 9th house. And yes, as we know that, Gemini is a very sexual sign. Gemini is a very sexual sign, right? And Ardra is also a very sexual nakshatra. But after that, when it entered the Punarvasu, yes, there will be a dawn of light which is coming. Like, yes, now Venus will be in a difficult position as per the romantic angle we are seeing. But still, Venus is Venus. Venus will try to do the romantic stuff easily, because it is the goddess of love, right? But yes, there will be opposition from Jupiter, but Jupiter is also in the star of Venus. We have to consider that also. So everything you see, it is coming in a whole synchronization thing. So everyone is in one another nakshatra. So this is very beautiful, you see.
Right, and it's really beautiful, but everybody really needs to be careful because so much unhappiness right now is happening in relationships, right? Where
Right.
we can be really confused because remember that Rahu is in the sign of Mrigashira, but being in that sign of Gemini, we can be really confused in what really is the truth and what's not. I mean, it's smoke and mirrors. Come on. That's what Rahu is
Correct.
all about, and chasing desires. But sometimes those desires that we're chasing are not what's going to give us or bring us fulfillment. So be really careful who you're talking to online before you decide to leave your current spouse or your current partner, because somebody online could be saying one thing and they're really something else completely. I have to put that warning out there,
Exactly.
especially with Venus being in there. You guys, this is really happening. And Venus isn't comfortable right now. As I said, Venus is wanting to move forward, maybe even with a new relationship, but Jupiter is not going to allow her at this point. Venus has
No.
to hold on, but there are times that we have to wait. There are times that we have to rein in our desires for the greater good. That's just maturity and wisdom, and that's what Jupiter's asking of us at this time. Please show some wisdom. Don't go all out and do something that you're going to regret later, because it's all smoke and mirrors right now.
Yes. I would also like to add some more points here. When we are looking at the Mrigashira nakshatra of Rahu, Rahu is in Mrigashira nakshatra of Mars actually. Mrigashira is like the deer. Okay, the deer in the forest. And what does the deer do? It just roam around the whole forest from one place to another, from another to the other. So there, yes, there are many chances that yes, person will be okay. A person is committed to someone, but he will roam around. So this is not good. Wandering is not good. Be it a man or a woman. I am talking about both of them, because yes, men may also end up cheating, or women may also end up cheating. So this, you do not do anything which ultimately in the long run will be detrimental to you, for your relationship, for your image. So yes, that is also one warning which I can say. So we covered most of the planet, and who is left? I guess Saturn is left.
Yeah, Saturn, I wanted to cover a little bit more Saturn also, because I've only touched on Saturn a little bit. So I wanted to give a little bit more information on what Saturn's role in all of this. He is really playing an important role. He is in the nakshatra of Uttara Ashada right now. And of course, we know that Saturn is all
Right.
about service and purpose, our commitment to something higher than us, right? It's our focus on something else other than ourselves and our survival. Saturn wants us to break free of our survival mode. Know that we're going to be taken care of. Don't live in that survival mode, right? He wants us to grow and be wiser. Really, that's what Saturn is all about. That's why he's such a planet of karma. So, and Capricorn, of course, he rules, he's in his own house, obligation to the world to bring out our wisdom and truth. And what we have learned and perfected. This is why 6th house and 10th house is so beautiful together and so important, because the 6th house is somewhere where we are perfecting our skills, that Virgo, Mercury, and bringing it out to the Capricorn house, out to the 10th.
Exactly.
How are we going to, what are we going to do now with those skills and serve the world? So
Exactly.
Saturn, of course, is retrograde, and he is looking at us willing to bring to bear and align our truth with our actions, our commitment, and our sacrifice. He's asking us to do our time and our duty to nurture what we planted in Purva Ashada. But it's all about standing firm in our beliefs. It's about going into battle and standing strong. And so what's happening right now in our world? We got so much of the elite class that are in battle. so much corruption's coming out from Jupiter.
Right. So I would like to add one point here, Sammy, because it is a star of Sun. Now, yes, Saturn, the previous commitment of the government is government have to be very strict on that. It is a testing time for the government itself, because you see, it is in the star of Sun and in the 10th house that it becomes a midheaven. It is a natural 10th house, barabar.
Yes.
So you see, when we are looking at the 10th house, it is the karma sthan, and it is the midheaven. You see, it is the midheaven in the daytime, right? So Saturn being there in the star of Uttara Shada, which is ruled by Sun, and also that is the latter success if we are looking at that star. So here the commitment and the things which the government has already promised way back when Sagittarius Saturn was transiting. Now it is time to look at that policies, because that is why Saturn is going retrograde.
Yes.
Now, when we are looking at the trine house, because the Earth Trikona is also getting activated, you have to see that. The second house of Taurus and the sixth house of Virgo has also connected to Saturn, because they are trying to each other, because they are earthly element. And now, whatever thing you need to do, that should have a solid foundation, because Capricorn is also that base, that solid land, that mountainous and rocky area where you have to stand firm. Absolutely beautifully you explained this point. I just added two more points. That's all.
I love it. And you know, I'm just going to kind of let you guys know just, and I'll use my personal life because I'm okay with being vulnerable. All right. So even being astrologers, you guys, we have difficult things happen in our life. But one of the things that Saturn really has honed in for me and taught me was one of my children are in a very difficult situation. I can't get to him. I'm across the country from him. And what I did, and I'm not joking you, this is what we need to do in every area in our life, is to have this type of desire and this type of compassion and love. I got online and I called 15 different churches, 15 where he was at. And I finally found one out of the 15 that went to go grab my son and help him. So this is about that right there was a war for me. That was a personal battle. This is maybe something that you guys could apply into your own life right now. Have that type of commitment in your own life to make it through. What is your personal battle? Right? I won that battle. I had the determination and I stood strong. So that's the kind of stuff that these planets and these energies are teaching us in our own personal life. What are your values?
Right, 100%. Because you see, every planet here is teaching us something. If we are just able to grab the patterns, like what they are doing and how they are doing, right? So in that situation, the whole scenario changes, because you see, these are all the cosmic signatures. The same time, the same alignment must have been had 30 years ago or 40 years ago. Then what the people at that time did? Yes, if we are looking at the transit, yes, it might happen that this same transit is going to happen in near future. Who knows? And who knows that we are definitely we will not be living so much to see that transit. But yes, if it is coming, then so they may have to take the example from us, like how we cope up, like we are doing from the Spanish flu. The same situation we are in right now. The same thing happened 100 years ago. You see, so everything is connected beautifully. You see, you just have to crack the code of pattern, and this can be only done by the help of astrology, be it Western or be it Vedic. That depends upon the practitioner, and also by the planet speaking to you if you are meditating or if you are doing any stuffs. That is also very important. But nakshatra, yes, they play a very important role in everyone's life,
Right.
because it is based on nakshatra.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, the nakshatras actually is what triggers these certain events. We're actually playing out the nakshatras, and so the stories of the nakshatras are the events that are going to be playing out in our life. But you know, also paying attention to the planets, is also translating that into everyday language. We call it self-awareness. Be aware of what you're thinking and be aware of your energy. Really be aware of your surroundings and what you're bringing into your life. And so when something difficult approaches you, you know, have that awareness where you're going to control that emotion and use your logic, be creative to resolve it. The same thing I just did with my son. That was such a creative thing that I did.
Exactly.
Who would have done that? I mean, but it's you know, it's being creative and meaning going outside the box, going outside your comfort zone to do something. And that's what these planets are wanting us to do, is they want us to live to their highest potential.
Absolutely
So
true. Absolutely true.
to know your own chart. What is your highest potential for your individual planets in your chart? Right?
So I guess that we can also just one thing, like if the people are interested really, so then we can say the prediction as per their own moon, but let it do on some another day. Because like say for example, if someone is having Scorpio moon, if someone is having Sagittarius moon, then what they are actually gonna feel. So if we are going to pull that thing into the discussion, then I guess the audiences will be benefited, and as an astrologer, we could want them even more than that. What do you say in that?
That would be absolutely wonderful. I think the audience, yeah, I think they would love that. And but it all means that you guys need to send in your information so we can pull up the charts and prepare it for each week. And we'll pull up like one chart a week or two charts or.
Two charts or maybe three charts, just like that. The best chart will be chosen on the lottery basis. Okay, so no one should fight because this is the transit is also not good. Okay, so keep your calm and send the charts and just ask the questions which you are having, and we will try to answer some of them, not all. We cannot. So we may ask something and we may choose some questions and definitely try to come back to you. So
Yeah,
I
I
guess
think
that
the
would be
audience
wonderful.
would love it. I think you guys would have so much fun. So you guys, this week, either turn in your birth information and your full name and your question. Either if for me, if you guys would make sure you do it through my website. Just go in, sign in, and email it to me. Through my website. That would be easiest. It'll stay very organized. I'm very Virgo. I apologize. And or send it over to KK. And KK, how would you like them to
Yes.
send it over to you if they choose to send it to you?
Oh, yes. If the audience are really interested, they can go in my FB page, Om Astro Jyoti, and yes, that they can send me there. So definitely, I am also waiting for you guys to just come up and show up and just give your details. For me, just your moon sign is enough, because the thing is, I will just tell the transit on that basis. And yes, if you need a very thorough discussion, then obviously you can uh, go into my page in FB, Om Astro Jyoti, and there is my website also linked there. So you can, yes, go there and definitely give the details.
Perfect. Wow. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to mention before we end here. Let me see. Well, a little bit of, so what we haven't covered quite yet. So moon right now, of course, it's in Chitra, and we did cover that. But so tomorrow the moon's going into Swati, which is a Rahu
Right.
rolled moon. Also, though, of course, in Venus. So this is great for communication. Right? Rahu is in Gemini. So it's
Gemini.
all
They
about,
both are in Gemini. Uh,
but be careful
Venus and
not to
right.
overindulge and drink.
100%. That is what to say. One more thing I would like to tell you: Swati is a very creative nakshatra and the most beautiful one. Uh, Rohini is there, but yes, Swati is also very beautiful. You have to see that. So yes, If you are creative, then make sure that your creativity is enrooted through a good channel. Do not make anything dangerous, and do not plan something nasty that is creative.
Right.
Even planning something nasty is also very creative. So try to avoid that.
Right. And remember that Saturn is exalted in specifically in the planet of Swati. And the reason why Saturn is exalted here is because he wants us to control our mind, control our state of mind, harness in that energy and focus it in the right direction. He just doesn't want us to be out everywhere. You know, because Swati just kind of spreads, right? That's why it's so good with having internet communications, you know, communicating over the internet, right? But, you know, with the mind here and it being Rahu ruling this nakshatra and Venus, just be really careful what you're doing, who you're communicating with, rein in that energy.
Correct. Absolutely. Try not to give excess of your detail to anyone over internet. Nowadays, people are having too much of the issues like cyber bully and cyber crime. These things are happening too much on this time, and even like child pornography and child sex is also very disturbing at this moment of time. What I'm trying to say, because last week only we covered the video when yes, we did that. Someone was being raped in a mental asylum, and the video was leaked. This is the horrendous and the most shameful act of the human being. So yes, these all things will also come into your head, or try to make easy money. Avoid doing that, because the thing is, yes, Rahu's control, very difficult to control Rahu, but you have to control it. The thing is like that.
Right. Just be really,
On
really.
the serious note, I am saying this. Yes.
And then and then the next day, so we got Saturday, Vishaka. And this is ruled by Jupiter. These are going to be decisions that are going to come on, you know, because the fork road. So usually, you know, maybe you're going to be indecisive about things, and you're really going to have to apply that higher wisdom. Again, Jupiter's retrograde, so maybe, you know, hold off on making decisions for that day until Jupiter, you know, goes direct, because you're really just kind of re-looking at things, and you just want to be careful about making decisions. But it's always about taking the higher road, you guys. So no matter what you're faced with, take the higher road.
100%. And after that, when we are looking at moon in the Vishaka, also I would like to add one more thing.
Thank you.
Vishaka, actually, when we are looking at the Vishaka, it is the star of success. Okay. And when it is like, it is a star of triumph. But you know, when Vishaka is sometimes very much selfish star also, we have to take into consideration that, because you see, Anuradha and Vishaka are the complementary pair, a kind of. Anuradha is a divine friend of everyone. Okay. So if you are doing any good to Anuradha, they will remember it. But for Vishaka, it is very professional. Like, okay, if I'm up the ladder, then I am okay, I don't want to talk to you. So these kind of attitude, yes, when moon is in Vishaka, be a little bit careful with this kind of attitude. Like, okay, now I don't need him, I don't know him, so I don't need him. So that kind of attitude is, yes, very dangerous, because you never know in future if you need him.
Don't be burning your bridges, you guys.
Exactly.
So, and I tell you, I'll be really honest that when the moon starts going into the sign of Scorpio, per the Vedic zodiac, but in Anuradha and in Jayastha are going to be the next two nakshatras. This is a very difficult day, a couple of days for me. I really struggle through these days because the moon is, in essence, debilitated in the sign of Scorpio. So it's not the most comfortable, because the sun wants to rise. The sun doesn't want to dig deep in the dirt. It's a Sophic planet. and Scorpio
Right.
and these nakshatras are very they get dirty. You have to go deep. I
Sure.
mean, we're talking down in the swamp, if you will. The moon does not feel comfortable with it. Very temperamental.
Never, never, never. And one more thing I would like to tell you here, like especially in this time when moon will be in Vishaka and Anuradha, both of these lords, the heavy weight planets Saturn and Jupiter, are retro in the sky. So that means you will have to dig that ground multiple times, because the Lord is not permitting you to clean up in one go, because they are retrograde. Retro means redo it. So you will have to dig it again, fill it again, dig it. So that will be a kind, yes. Then moon will be really frustrated at that time. But yes,
It definitely will be
let's hope
frustrating.
for the best.
It's going right on top of my Jupiter and opposing my Saturn. So it's going to be a difficult day.
Yes, in that situation, you have a cushion of Jupiter around moon, because yes, Jupiter is already there, so it won't be doing any much difficulty to you. But I am worried about the people who are having Rahu in the Anuradha, or they are going to do something very mischievous at this time.
Yeah. Be careful, you guys. Be self-aware. And not just for you. And a lot of the people, most of our audience who is watching this, they're here to be more self-aware, right? They're light workers.
Right.
You guys, be careful of others around you. So when we're saying being self-aware, also be very aware of your surroundings, who you're talking with, and who may be approaching you at this time, because they can be very naughty. So
Correct.
Jayasa,
Absolutely.
yeah, so Jayasa and Mula is the last two that I wanted to cover. So Jayasa is not the easiest nakshatra either. And Jayasa could be a very insecure type of nakshatra where it wants to end up controlling. So not only that is moon is in a Mars ruled sign, by Jayasa is also ruled by associated with Mercury. So it's a
Right.
double whammy for the moon here. Really uncomfortable. And who you may have thought was a friend may not be such a friend. Jayasa is, I think, very treacherous. It's way more
Exactly.
I think, than Mula.
Mola. Now, for Jesta, I would like to just give one input also. Jesta is the most eldest nakshatra. Jesta means actually the eldest one, the most superior one. So yes, Jesta have that ego. That yes, I am the eldest one. But Jesta is not a very beautiful nakshatra. Nakshatra means they were given the face. Rohini and Swati were excellent. They were very beautiful. Anuradha was also very beautiful. Vishaka was also beautiful. But Jestha, though she was means the eldest one, but she was not good looking. So that has that poison nature inside her.
Right.
The Jestha and Aslesha, they are both poisonous. You see, even Aslesha is poisonous. Aslesha is poisonous, very much poisonous, but Jestha is also poisonous. So yes, that is a very difficult thing. And then we see Mula.
Areas, one of the other things about to be really careful about Jayasa, especially you will see a lot of narcissists come from this nakshatra, and you will see a lot of people who are very jealous. Right?
Exactly.
Because Jayasa was very jealous that the moon spent so much time in a Rohini. So it has that element of jealousy. It also has an element of just a tremendous amount of responsibilities. The eldest was responsible for all the younger siblings. So it's got that element to it also. So it's not just all negative. Maybe you're going to be burdened a little bit more with more responsibility than what you want on this day.
Correct. And finally, when we are speaking about the Mula, now as we know that Mula is already, we have discussed so many times, it is the deep-rooted issue, and also the Kali. It is associated with the Indian goddess Kali, which means death and destruction. Rather, we say Nirutti, not Nivritti is a part of Kali, right? So yes, at that moment of time, the person will be having some old traumas coming back into mind. Now this is something very very bad. People in like 15 year ago, what a person did, and he is getting frustrated now at this point of time. Also because there will be Ketu, and Moon and Ketu conjunction is also not a very good time for the transit, because see, they are both the opposite energy. Ketu's element is to cut, and Moon is the mind. So emotionally, that person or the person at that moment of time should be like they should cut themselves from the old traumas. Do not get involved into that. So that will be my suggestion.
Yes,
Sammy, yes,
Moolah again is that galactical point. It's that point going from water to fire. So you're really going to have that energy where maybe you're going to lose your temper because we got Mars again still in Ashwini, and of course we got Rahu, Mrigashira, but so what? Just watch your temper. Watch what that things that could trigger you from the past, where you may do something that you regret, and vice
exactly.
versa. Be careful not to trigger other people also.
Uh,
So
and
we can be the trigger, right? We can
exactly, exactly,
and then we
exactly. So just
with this anger.
exactly. So just don't get carried away with whatever happening. The past is dead. The past. Let's bury the past and move on. That is a symbol. Do not dig the old graves. So you are not going to benefit from there.
Right, right.
And that
Remember,
is
if we're
exactly,
living in the past, we are not living in the present. If we're looking
exactly,
backwards, we're not moving forward, you guys. So continue living in this very moment and continue to push forward. That's really a good what you really want to focus on in this nakshatra, especially with K,
right,
right, K2 being there. Very good.
exactly. So I guess we covered all the weeks, and yes, Sammy, continue, please.
Yes, I think
We can
we
do the
did
closure.
really well. So
Yes,
just a reminder, you guys, now I'm not going to be doing the daily moon transits next week. So it was a little bit too much for me, and I got a huge project launch that I'm doing next week. So I need to really concentrate on getting that out and in a timely manner. But get your, if you guys want your charts read, or not read, but looked at by me and KK on our next meeting here next Saturday at 1 o'clock. The same time, get it over to us via through the personal messenger on Facebook or through the websites or however, and it'll be kind of like a lottery, and we'll just kind of pick 2 or 3 out of it and go through them. It'll be a good time for you to get to know yourself a little bit better, and I think it'll be fun for everybody else. So any last words, KK?
exactly.
We leave?
Yes, just summing up, yes, I feel very happy and very lucky when Sammy calls me, and she is wonderfully doing this. And every time when I talk to her, yes, we are completely into astrology and nothing else. So you see, the thing we are talking about is not only the knowledge, we are also trying to help people. Now, this is the biggest thing which we are trying to do. And yes, Sammy, whenever you are calling me, I'm all yours. I'm just coming on your channel, and I love sharing the knowledge. Yes, and thank you also, Sammy, on behalf of my team Om Astrojyoti, that you invited us here.
Oh,
Honored.
KK, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for doing this. I think we make a great team, and I will be sharing a few videos
Exactly.
of KK's in my group, so everybody can enjoy and learn those. So I think everybody can really benefit from it. But thank you so much. You're a godsend. Thank you. I really
Thank you.
appreciate you and all you.
Same here. Thank you, Sammy. Thank you, Sammy. Thank you. Okay.
You guys have a beautiful weekend. We'll catch you guys next Saturday. Namaste.
Exactly. Namaste. Namaste. all the audience love and gratitude.